Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Blackshirt Breakdown. My name is Steve Marik. I'm a staff writer at Inside Nebraska, and that is Jay Foreman, our NFL veteran and former Nebraska Blackshirt. Jay, we have two more Husker recruits here to break down for the 2023 class in Kai Wallin, 6'6", 235-pound outside linebacker, defensive end, kind of hybrid guy. And then corner from IMG Academy down in Bradenton, Florida, Syncere Safeeullah. So kind of an interesting last name, but I hope I didn't butcher that. If I did, sorry, Syncere. But yeah, he's a lengthy corner at 6'1", 170 pounds around there. But Jay, when you look at guys like Kai Wallin and Syncere, what do you see?
First is their body types, which is unique. When you're 6'6", 240, Kai has long arms. But you know what? He has good knee bend, good ankle bend, so he can play low. And so that's one thing I really look for, if I'm looking, at a taller defensive end, outside linebacker, hybrid type. And, he makes plays both at the point of attack and, running down the line of scrimmage. He's dropped in coverage some. So, I know he's a good athlete. He's tall and lean. So that means, really you could put 10, 15 pounds on him and he wouldn't look any different. Has pretty good functional strength, and there's a ton of his ceiling is very high for him. And one thing that you can kind of see, and there's not a direct look that or direct data that you can see, but I just know it from just experience. He looks like on tape that he really loves football and he cares about it, and that's a huge attribute that sometimes gets overlooked. So not only is he a good athlete, good build, and then plenty to work with. He wants to get better. And so, when you're thinking about him, and then Syncere, again, another long, lean body type. And what I really like is he's not only tall, and when you see on tape, he's a legit 6'1", 170, long arms, but his best attribute is he attacks the football. And what I mean by that is he high points it like a receiver. When the ball's in the air, or when he's going to break up a pass, he's going for the ball. So that's going to help him not only create more opportunities for himself, but you're talking about tip balls that could lead to interceptions, return for yards, or touchdowns. And he's a pretty decent tackler too. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. Now, granted, we're only looking at short glimpses and clips, but you see the play recognition for him. You see the also football acumen is knowing the routes and the situations, especially if you look at his little clip that were towards the end of the game, he made a couple game-sealing interceptions. He had another really good play where he defeated a block and came and made a tackle, I think 4 or 5 yards. So we saw that. So when you're thinking about how he could possibly correlate in a year or two into the system against teams that Nebraska will face, you think about the Marylands, the Purdue's, a little bit of Illinois, where they had Juice Williams, or they'll have somebody like that where you need a guy that's going to be able to make plays from either, the corner position, the slot position, field corner position, where we'll get into here in a second, versus boundary. He's able to make plays in short areas and the play recognition. Plus, with his body type, really, really fits into a boundary side of corner, initially. And I think what generally happens, you start at boundary and then you kind of graduate to field. So I like these guys. I think also it's a quick glimpse into what made Matt Rule successful at Temple and Purdue, or not Temple, excuse me, in Baylor. I keep thinking about Purdue because that's the game that's frustrated me so much. Temple and Baylor, where you really look at the tape, really look at the potential, look at the body types, and then also have enough confidence what you can do with these athletes once you have them in your system for a year or two, and then you'll see the production on the field. So now you're starting to see how they're going about recruiting, right? Mm-hmm. Really, really a big emphasis on game tape, or, I guess highlight tape, what their tape is, body type, potential, what you can work with, and build a team from there. And you're looking for athletes that need some work and coaching, but you're looking for athletes that also have a lot of growth potential as well. So, and that's the way you have to do it right now. Nebraska isn't in the position to go and get all the top, 10 people at each position in each recruiting class, whether it's a transfer portal or high school or JUCO, anything like that. So you have to really put your, emphasis on your eyes and your like group thought process on how you want to build the team. So I think these two guys are a really, really, I guess, Cliff Notes version of what you can expect in the future. Not holistically, not the whole recruiting class, but a big majority part of it moving forward.
And let's get into those huddle highlights. Let's first start off with Kai Wallin, the defensive end outside linebacker. So he's originally from California,
Right.
Played at American River Community College. And Jade, let's just take a quick glance at his highlights here.
Right. When you think about him, look, you see him with the pad level right there, right? First of all, it's the get off. And then you see the big man right here, he's getting off on the ball, and you see his pad level, you see his long arms right there, and see how the leverage he has. And leverage to me is his pad level below the obviously the offensive tackle. That's where your power comes from, where you don't have to be 275 pounds. Low man, it wins. And look, it's the aggressiveness. You see the explosiveness, heavy hands, and then just pretty much bum rush him. And then he almost beat him so bad that it affected him going to get the quarterback. But it's something that jumps off on tape where, evaluators, pot roast, the defensive line coach gets excited about. Now, here's another one, right? In a 2-point stance. So he likes the versatility here where he's able to rush out a 2-point stance, play recognition, and, gets there. And when he arrives at the quarterback now, he's not there to, pity pat you down. Again, I look at the leverage, look at it to where you're still getting a hit on the quarterback, and everybody wants to look at sacks as what you evaluate a rusher from. I'm looking at a guy that gets hit on the quarterback, so more times than not, you're affecting the play. So, look, he does a really good job. Acceleration, good hit on the quarterback, and he's still playing low. So I like his ability to bend. Sometimes I think with the previous staff, guys that, weren't very athletic. They were big, not very athletic. With him, I mean, you look at his build right there. He knocked the young man's helmet off. So I like that right there. That's a highlight type of play you want right there. And here's another play again, rushing from the outside. We don't get a clear view on it, but again, look at the leverage and looking at him, defeating the blocker, which was a inside move. So I'm assuming that he set him up with speed, got a little bit of an inside rush, and again another hit on the quarterback. And with the quick passing game, which is obviously taking over America, you not only look at sacks, but you look at hits on the quarterback. And one of the biggest things that you like to see from a young guy, and now granted, he's going to get in here, he's going to learn different pass rush moves, he's going to get work on his technique, but a guy that wins one-on-one blocks. If you see all the other guys, the other defense end did a decent job. When you're 6'6", able to get under the pads of a guy that's shorter than you and finish at the quarterback, and when you arrive with bad intentions. I like it. And then again, here, 2-point stance. And another thing, he's doing this on both sides of the ball here, right? Wow. Now you see the speed, the power. That's called a long arm move right there, where he's getting off on the ball and he's walking that offensive lineman right back to the quarterback one-handed. And that's, I don't know if he got this, the stat for sack, but essentially that's a sack force fumble right there. You just walk them back there, and that's what the leverage does. Look at the knee bend, the ankle bend, what people like to evaluate now. Walking them right back to the quarterback, sack, cause fumble. You wish the defensive line would have got an interception for a touchdown, but that's an impressive play there. And, you can look at the size of the offensive tackle, so forth and so on. I don't need, at this point, you got to go against who you got to go against, but I'm talking about the variety of ways that he's been able to rush the quarterback. And from 2-point stance, right side, left side. So that side right there was just the left. Now he's rushing from the right. So what you're seeing here is, in potentially in Coach White's 3-3-5, is he likes versatility. So you just don't know where he's at. Now, this rush right here that he had, right? Speed, and then he got a quick swim move inside, and then finish at the quarterback. You seen him getting a little bit flat. His length helped him right there. Get flat, get down the line, those long arms, the reeling the quarterback, the payoff is there. So you're seeing a pretty good athlete right here that has a ton of potential. And there's a lot to work with. Obviously, by the way he plays, I just assume that, he's going to be a hard worker. He looks like he loves football, and it's a guy that fits into the Matt Rule and how they're thinking about building their program, fits into the Tony White type of defense, 3-3-5, which you can play multiple fronts, a 4-3 or a 3-4. And when you have an athlete that can, go from a 2-point stance in rush and a 3-point stance and rush, and can rush from both sides of the ball, that's what you want. And now we're moving right along to here, Syncere. Yep. You see him playing what's called a boundary corner. So a boundary corner is generally when you're to the short side of the field, which the ball is on the right hash. So he's playing left corner here. Now, what you're going to get there is a lot of, stop routes. You're going to get a lot of, back shoulder fades. So those guys on that side of the ball really have to have, in my opinion, superior play recognition skills, football acumen, if you want to call it, and ball skills, right? So if you look at it, ball skills isn't just getting your hands on the ball. Ball skills, I like to equate guys that make plays on the ball. And you see it right here, right? He sees it, attacks the ball, then obviously, hits the sideline, cock the head back, game-winning play. And for him in a game that they were down, right? So look, also this is an attribute that you want from your players as well. You're down by 5 points. You got to make a play, have the confidence in yourself to know the defense. And if you look at the defense here, he's able to sit short on any of these routes because he has safety help over top. So what that allows you to do as a corner is to play very, very aggressive and jump routes. And so he jumped the first route, kind of gave back a little body help. He knew where the quarterback was going, played right on the ball, a kind of little cat and mouse there, got into the passing lane, made a play on the ball, returned it for a touchdown. And that's what you want from your corners. You want your corners to be smart. You want them to be physical. You want them to have football acumen, know the scheme and know their leverage, and then make plays on the ball. And this is a really good play here as we're moving along right here. It's a deep out kind of a corner route. He ran the route for him, and you see him, got him right on the hip. Again, knowing that he has over-the-top help so he can play underneath and be aggressive is really, really good. And the most important thing right here, you see how he attacks the ball. He catches it clean, gets 2 feet in. If you're worried about NFL Sundays, when in college you only need one, this is a really impressive play. And he knows that he has over-the-top help. So on a deep, outcut or seven route right here, which is a corner route, you know that you can undercut it and be aggressive on the ball because you have help over top. So that's what you want for your corners, whether you're playing boundary or field. In this case, he's playing a field corner, which is a wide side of the field. So his technique is a little bit different. So then when you're looking at it, you might, on the boundary side, you might be the deeper third or quarter player. On the field side, you might be playing deep to short in the flat from playing in the slot, or based on the alignment of the receiver is how you're going to play it, right? So he can play outside leverage, knowing he can undercut it on a deep outside route because he has help. And then here's another play where they're, thrown in the triple coverage, but who comes down with it? Syncere comes down with it, where he attacks the ball, he gets up higher than everybody else, and he makes plays on it. And he's got good hands, good hand-eye coordination, even on a tip ball, gets to himself. And I like the return ability. Obviously trying to score and have some big returns. Again, this is probably his best play here as we kind of go back and forth here. And there's so many of them, and it's the same one, number 3, 1, 2, and 3, making plays on the ball. But this fourth one here, after we see this nice return again, is you see the height that he goes and attacks the ball, right? He's up above everybody. He's high pointing the ball as a defensive back. And that's what you want. You want somebody, when that ball's in the air, every coach will tell you, it's your ball. Again, undercuts the receiver, a superior athlete. You see the other guy there, but you see who comes down with it. All natural movement for him, where the athletic ability there and the potential is there. And so you like it. You like his ball skills. You like his football acumen. You like his ability to make plays within the scheme of the defense. And so he's not an I player, he's a we player, and he's going to make the easy plays look phenomenal and make the phenomenal plays look easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, I think these are 2 solid pickups, Kai Wallin and Syncere Safeeullah. So it's just, I'm trying with that last name here. Yeah. So I'm really excited. And I think this kind of speaks to, like you were talking about, what the coaching staff is looking for. Right. Terrence Knighton getting his guy, Evan Cooper getting his guy, lightly recruited guys, but still guys that the coaching staff obviously see something in, and they're going after it and doing it their way.
Well, yeah, just because they're lightly recruited right now doesn't mean that they, eventually in a couple months would be, I don't know, high 3 stars, 4 stars. Mm-hmm. But they're highly recruited by Nebraska, and that's what's most important. And they fit their scheme. And so when you talk about teams like defensively in the Big Ten, where they're consistently good, the Iowas, the Wisconsins, obviously the Ohio State and Michigans. So the guys that they go out and recruit fit their scheme. right? Iowa, they're able to kind of plug and play guys because they know what they want and what they look for in a high school JUCO or potentially a transfer portal player. This right now, at least on the surface, and we don't know. We're out here just giving our opinions, but from my experience, that's what they're doing. They're marrying what obviously what Tony White and Rule have came to terms with what how they're going to build the team, and then all the assistant coaches are recruiting to that particular athlete, body type, or potential down the road. And these two guys are perfect examples. And I imagine as they build recruiting classes for years to come, you're going to have some guys like this that are under the radar guys, potential, and will pay dividends in a year or two. And then maybe some ready-made guys and then some true projects. And that's how you build a team because when you look at it deeper, they probably feel really confident in their ability to develop players and get them better. And there's these two guys right here, obviously Division I, athletes, but you see the ceiling for these guys to physically grow. Football wise, that's on the coaches to get them better, but physically grow and the potential when you think 2 or 3 years down the road of, say Syncere's, 6'1", 185 starting corner, boundary corner. And then you think like, Kai is 6'6", 255, and then available to be multiple. Those are what you look for. So then you're able to develop them and get them to make plays on the field. So Matt Rule and company and the defensive staff, especially just being here for a couple of weeks, they're definitely excited to land these two.
Cool. All right, Jay, that'll do it. And that'll do it for the Blackshirt Breakdown. My name is Steve Marik. That is Jay Foreman. And we will be back whenever Nebraska snags another commit.